I would like to show you a brief clip of Joe Biden assuring us that the perilous situation that many of us are currently enduring won't be over anytime soon, nor will it ease up. It might, in fact, get much worse. Take a look.
There's a lot going on right now, but the idea we're going to be able to, click a switch, bring down the cost of gasoline is not likely in the near term, nor is it with regard to food.
That's absolutely incredible. When I hear politicians, especially notable politicians like the President of the United States of America, say things such as what he just uttered, I believe it's incredibly important to monitor the vocabulary. The language that these people use, to me, is striking when talking about issues such as inflation, such as a food crisis, such as a gasoline crisis, such as what he was alluding to in that brief video. I know it was very short, but it said a lot. Let's just take a look at the vocabulary. He says the idea, so it's an idea, right? It's not reality. The idea that we're going to be able to click a switch, right, as if it's instantaneous, bring down the cost of gasoline is not likely in the near term. So that won't happen, nor is it with regard to food. That's amazing. So he's basically telling us that the problems that you're currently undergoing with food and gasoline won't get any simpler anytime soon, okay? And there's nothing that I can do or there's nothing that I will do is really what he's saying to fix this, right? I want to give you a couple of numbers. I want to read out to you a couple of numbers before I really get into this. $40 billion, $50 billion, or $53 billion, and $700 million. These were all, quote unquote, switches that were flipped where we sent all that money to Ukraine. For what? And by the way, this is kind of just a side note. These weapons, I don't remember what specific type of weapon. It could be many different types, but a lot of these weapons that we are sending into Ukraine are, being seen on the dark web. And Ukrainian soldiers, whether it be members of the Azov battalion or whoever else, are selling these weapons for a lot of money. So that's where the U.S. weapons are going that we're sending into Ukraine. But anyway, I just wanted to put that as a side note because that's kind of hilarious and just outright sad. But so the $40 billion is the almost unanimous agreement that Congress provided, which Joe Biden signed on, of course. He cheerleaded it. The $53 billion was what he had as a president in his reserves, but he exhausted those reserves, which is why he had to go to Congress to get the $40 billion. And the $700 million was also approved by him. That's like some kind of security system, rockets or whatever, of course, to provide more destruction and death over in that part of the world. But these were all, switches that were clicked by him and the warmongers in Washington, but they can't click a switch to help you with your inflation or the fact that gas is so high these days because of things that they're currently doing. No, they much rather blame it on Putin, some foreign evil that you can't reach, that, has nothing to do with your current issue, your current problems, right? And to add on to this, this guy, this sad excuse for a president is going to travel to Saudi Arabia to speak with the leader there, basically crawling on his hands and knees to beg for him to up oil production so he can lower gas prices here and further, here we go, isolate Russia. This is incredible because I once again would like to pivot back to the vocabulary. When they speak about things like inflation and very dire issues that affect us in our current moment, they always say it's an idea, we can't click a switch, it's not likely. It's all this negativity, within the vocabulary. It's all this, oh, we just can't do it, right? But leaders in the past that have dealt with inflation or an incoming inflation have had answers for it. A Republican president apparently more progressive than Joe Biden, President Richard Nixon did a wage price freeze when he was undergoing an inflation. Stop the inflation momentarily. President FDR, during the time of World War II, when he saw an inflation coming, put in measures in order to prevent it from happening. But apparently, according to the Biden administration and people surrounding him, there's absolutely nothing they can do. They've relinquished themselves from all blame at that, and they're blaming foreign actors for things that they're causing. I mean, or they're not necessarily causing, because Biden didn't cause the inflation, but refusing to solve. This is absolutely incredible. It's sad. It's a weak display, very feckless, and just outright lame. But this is our current ruling administration.